What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Drax Moondragon 2-pack. This is one I'm very excited about, so let's check it out.
Now tuning into the encountered culture.
I've been erased, I've been replaced. Counter-culture's in your face. Fun to pretend that you want it to end. I'd rather be drinking with my friends. When we go out, you never see us again.
As promised, today we are going to be looking at the Drax Moondragon 2-pack. So let's check it out. Looking at the box, of course, we do get our images of the figures with that comic backdrop in the background. Drax the Destroyer, Moondragon, Guardians of the Galaxy, continuing this subline within the Marvel Legends. I've loved every figure so far, despite some of the flaws from those figures. This has been a cool set to kind of piece together. Flip it to this side, you do get your comic book art, so a little bit more of a modern era of these two characters, but still nice imagery on the side there. Flip it to the back, you do get images of each of the figures. So you do have Drax. Here's what he comes with. He's got an extra head, he's got extra hands. You get Moondragon, she's got extra hands. That's what you get. Flip it to this side, you do get your images of the figures as well. But let's see what's inside the box. Fresh out the box, this is already a nice set. Everything looks clean on mine so far. Just impressive. Drax especially is just impressive coming out of the packaging. Really looking forward to looking at both of these a little bit closer. But I'm just going to say it. I like it already. So let's go. Let's take a look at Moondragon first, and then we'll roll into Drax, and we'll take it from there. With Moondragon, you do get the extra set of hands, so there's nothing else to that. You do get two fists, two open hands. Hands we've seen a million times, so nothing new there as far as that's concerned. But let's take a closer look at Moondragon herself. The paint apps look really nice. I just off the cuff, I like this sort of shimmery tone that they went with down here. Just captures the light, grabs your eye. So that's a really nice touch that they put there. The figure itself, so the main complaints are going to be from people that older arms, elbows, but you do have pinless knees down here. So a combination of two. Of course, you do get the upper torso swivel here with a major gap depending on how far back you go. So that is not super great. And then no articulation here at the ab crunch. Upper thigh swivel, of course. Double jointed knees. So you do get plenty of bendability. Of course, plastic cape will get in the way. Down at the foot, you do have these flat feet here. But you get all the normal range of motion and a little bit of a ding down at the bottom there, so kind of sloppy on the foot. Looking at the arms, of course, like I said, these are the older arms, so you do have the single joint there. Regular articulation. You got the hinge back and forth with that. And then the arms will go, I think, up about that high. They'll come out just like that. Of course, they'll go back. I mean, you can get them wherever you want to, but again, the cape will be the one thing that gets in your way there. All right, let's look at the head. So the head, you do get all the way around. She'll look up just about there. Yeah. And then she'll look down pretty far, so that's pretty good. Head sculpt itself looks really nice, kind of nice touch. She's got the raised eyebrow there, really nice color on the lips, and then the moon earrings. They add a nice touch. So some really good detail as far as the face is concerned. And then, of course, you do get the little moon emblem crest on the where the cape comes together there. And then, of course, these nice big fins for the cape. I wouldn't even bring up this sort of thing, but I know it was brought up a lot when the pictures of the figures were released, and it just stands out. Just not coloring in that area or filling in the top just gives it kind of a weird look. That's all I'll say about that, and we'll move on to Drax. Looking at Drax, he looks nice. I mean, this is just a very nice figure for me right out of the box. And I find myself, whenever certain characters are announced, wondering if I even need to buy this figure. Like, I already have a previous iteration of the figure. Is this even the version that I want? And then I do a little dance back and forth with that. I'm sure that happens to a lot of us. But oftentimes I am glad that I just went ahead and pulled the, took the plunge and got the figure. So let's get into Drax a little bit. I'll show you what I like. We'll talk about it. He is on the Caliban body, so we had asked for that for a while. We got two this year, right? So you got Puff Adder and Drax, both using that mold because it is a very nice, large-bodied figure. Of course, with Drax, you do get an extra set of hands and an extra head, so you have 2 fists and 2 open hands. Take a look at this guy. So looking at the paint, like there's just like this soft green. That's like the only way I can think to explain it. But it looks very nice. Like it's just got this sort of soft, almost like if it is a green skin tone. It not the same down on the arms, which is fine, but just the application on the face sculpts on both of them, I just want to point that out. It looks really nice. All right, so you got a lot of detail in here. You get the nice little skull crest to carry or to hold the cape together. You do get the belt down here with, of course, the skull and crossbones. Looking here, he does have the cuffs on the wrists, and they are not in place, so you can move them around. So, of course, you'll want to pay attention when you're switching out the hands. Cape is a very thick plastic cape, so a lot of you will hate that, but that's okay. That's all right. You got some texturing on the inside, smooth on the outside. Articulation, of course, as I said, is if you have Puff Adder, it's going to be essentially the same as that. If you have Caliban, fairly similar. All right, so arms go up about that high and out that far. Coming forward or backwards, I'm not getting anything there. There's your elbow. Of course, you can go all the way around with it though, so that is pretty solid. Hinge at the wrist, back and forth. And assume it is the same on both sides. Again, not much as far as bringing those arms forward or backwards, so that's where like butterfly joints would really come in handy. You do get the ab crunch, slightly limited by the belt, but not super limited. You can take it back about that far with only a little bit of a gap, so not too bad at all. All right, upper thigh swivel, of course. You got the double jointed knees, so he gets all the way up there. Oh yeah. Leg will come up as such. It'll go out just like that, going back about that far. All right, let's take a look at the other head here. Switching out the head and the hands. So I took the cape off as well so you can get an idea of what he would look like without the cape. When we switch to the hands, this hand is still on the swivel that goes front and back. However, this one is on the swivel that goes up and down, or the hinge that goes up and down. My apologies. So there you go. Of course, you get this extra head. This is probably the one I like the most. When it was announced, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. It looks like, this from the mask right here. All right, so let's get into some size comparisons here. Obviously, we can see the two of them backed up against each other, but if you don't have these figures, it doesn't really give you super good representation of the height differences and where they would fit in with your collection. So let's check out Moondragon first. So we'll keep it Guardians related. So here I have Moondragon backed up against your Entertainment Earth exclusive Gamora. Of course, I have the cape removed from Gamora's. Too much cape going on, so got to dial it down a notch. But there you go. So you can see how she'll fit in about average height with your other female figures from the Marvel Legends line. So not on the taller end like, say, a Thundra or a Valkyrie or She-Hulk, but definitely right in your mid-range height. Let's take a look at Drax. Alright, so when we look at Drax, again, we'll keep it Guardians related. I do have the Entertainment Earth exclusive Drax backed up against him, and geez, this is a huge difference from Drax to Drax. I mean, just a world apart. This new Drax is so massive in comparison to this previous release. And this was the thing I was saying. I know they're from different eras, but I was like, wow, do I need this Drax? Where am I even going to fit this in? I'll figure that part out. But just, it's just crazy how different they are as far as the height is concerned. So there's your Drax. I'll pop up a more standard 6-inch figure just so you can get an idea of how that looks. And I'll even go with a taller figure for you just to see the sheer size comparison of this new Drax. So here's Drax backed up against your retro carded Ant-Man. So this would be more similar to your Pizza Spidey, skinny body mold, just dominating against this Ant-Man figure. Here he is backed up against She-Hulk from the Super Skrull wave. Again, a taller figure, but still, Drax is just taking the cake here. So he's big, he's beefy, he's beautiful. Super excited to have him, ready to see what he looks like on the shelf once I clear out about 4 other figures just to make a spot. Alright folks, so there you have it. There is your Drax the Destroyer Moondragon 2-pack from Marvel Legends under the Guardians of the Galaxy banner. This is a Pulse exclusive, so that's the only place you're going to be able to get it in the United States. So if you're looking for it, that's where you'll find it. But if you're here, you found me, so that's good enough for now. Of course, if you are over on Instagram or you are on Whatnot, please feel free to check it out over there as well. But if you want to stay here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And until next time, take it easy.
I've been erased, I've been replaced. Counterculture, it's in your face. It's fun to pretend that you want it to end. I'd rather be drinking with my friends. When we go out, you know.